Hey everybody, just going to do a quick walk around of my 1972 American General M35A2. Here it is. I'll just point out a couple things that I've done. So obviously the truck is black and white. They come OD green from the factory. This one, I repainted it with Rust-Oleum oil-based enamel. Took a really long time, but I got it done, and it turned out really well. I spray everything that's black, including this bed here and the frame. I sprayed with a Wagner power sprayer, and then all the white I rolled. And it'd probably be kind of hard to tell in the video, but it turned out really well. The tires, that's the biggest thing. So factory, they were dual rear wheels. These are 1200 R20s, which they're 44 inches tall and 12 inches wide. They are on the factory M35A2 wheels. These wheels are actually rated for up to a 12-inch wide tire, so it's not sketchy, and it's not bulged out really far. These are new tubes. It's recommended to put new tubes in them. You want to have the proper size. You could put a 900 series tube in there and it would inflate and hold, but it could potentially get hot down the road, and these are radial, so you want to make sure that you have radial tubes, not bias ply tubes. Alright, backing up again. Factory, they have a step right here. It's got a little storage container. I've taken that off, and the fender comes down further in front of that step, so I've trimmed that off and put this trim cap stuff on there, and that cleaned it up so you don't accidentally cut yourself on there. I do have the spare tire mounted here. I don't think that it's going to live here forever, just because it's kind of low to the ground. When I say low, it's probably 20 inches from the ground. It's a little too. I have taken this in the woods already, and that got a little close. You can see I've painted this wheel. I'm gonna paint all the other wheels. I just haven't gotten around to it. Backing up again, this bed, it was off an F450. It was from a graveyard. They used it to haul vaults around. That's what you put the caskets in the ground. They wanted a dump bed, and this was not, so they got a new bed, and I bought this one from them. It's a nap-eyed bed with LEDs. LEDs have a pretty wide range of voltages that they can run at, and because this truck is a 24-volt truck, these work like a drain. Again, I'm going to paint these wheels the same as that when I get around to it. Here on the back, you can see the marker light story continues. I've replaced the factory little teardrop brake lights with these larger LEDs for a trailer. Got a floodlight mounted here in the back. That thing it says 15 watts, but it is crazy bright at nighttime. Connected a air quick connect there. That's the factory emergency air line for the air brakes. You can have air brakes on your trailer if you want it. All this decking, composite deck boards. The factory wood boards were a little bit rotten, and they were holding moisture, which rotted out the cross members under here. They were C-channel. I've since replaced them with 2x4 rectangular tubing. Here we are on this side. There was a step that was right here that housed the batteries. I since removed that step and relocated the batteries into two battery boxes right here. They were like 12 bucks, and they are waterproof and look really nice. This is the factory fender, comes down that far. You know, on the other side I showed you it was cut off. I just haven't cut this one off yet because I haven't decided what I want to do about that exhaust. Is going to be below the cut line, so I just don't know if I'm going to like the way that looks. Put a muffler on there. They do not have a muffler factory, and they are super loud. Just painted the breather there, the same color as the muffler, just the grill paint. Mirrors, the factory mirrors come out about a foot further than those, so I added those, and they just have a lot better visibility. The factory ones were a bit smaller, and they had started to separate, and I couldn't see too well out of them. This is to jump start the truck if you wanted to. It's a 24 volt, just 2-pin connector. Here's those battery boxes I was talking about. Ran new wires down through the bed. Fuel tank, mounted it up here. It was right here. It just was about as low as that spare tire is on the other side, and again I wanted the clearance, so I moved it up here. Had to route the fuel lines, so I just took a hole saw, and because this is the composite decking, I'm not so worried about the lines chafing on there or anything, so hole sawed out that stuff, connected them to the factory lines, connected the battery cables to the factory cables. This ground one was just a bolt that was there originally, and then this I got an isolation stud for the hots. Back on the driver's side, open the door, nothing special, lots of metal. If you want to bang your funny bone on something, there are plenty of places to do it in here. This is the factory seat. The driver's seat is on, there you go, you can see a big spring here, and it has a little shock that's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's back there. And you can adjust the tension of the damping with this little lever here. I recovered these seats just for the time being with some, this is parachute repair tape. A friend of mine was in the Army and he got out and he had some of this left over. And so I just covered this. This was just foam when I originally got it. So covered it in that, did the back the same way. Doesn't look the best, but it works and it's waterproof. Here is a remote mount brake reservoir. These are a single pot master cylinder from the factory, and if you lose your fluid, you lose your brakes. So here's the master cylinder right there, and this just screws into the top and then doubles your fluid capacity. It is made by Willwood. Pedals, just like anything else. Shifter, sorry for the mess over there, I'm still working on it. To turn this truck on, you flip this on, you hit that button, starts the truck. Pretty crazy. If somebody wants to steal it, you need to be careful. And that's why it comes with this full chain welded to the floor that you chuck around the steering wheel, and people are less likely to steal it. For turning your lights on, you flip first switch, that does your tail lights, brake lights. Second switch, that's all your lights are on. There you can see the, kind of hard to tell in the daylight, but the LEDs are on. Coming around to the front of the truck here, nothing super special. 24 volt headlights, pretty annoying if you have to replace them. This is a number plate, factory. I just 70 because those are the numbers that look the best out of the, there's actually a stack. You can see here, you just lift this plate and you can change the numbers to whatever you want. There you can kind of see the mirrors a little bit better. It's a big truck. Those windshield wipers right here, they are air actuated, so you actually just turn a little knob on the dashboard and they start and work pretty decent. Alright guys, so that was a quick rundown of my truck. I guess maybe not so quick, but I tried to cover everything in one video, so if you guys have any more questions, just let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll still, like, it's an ongoing project. I'm adding a 12 volt or a 24 volt to 12 volt converter. I already have it wired into one main switch, and then that way I can run a couple of 12 volt accessories like a cigarette lighter so I can charge my phone or run a GPS. And there's a couple other, there's a EGT gauge that I'm putting in there, and it runs on 12 volts, so I'll have to wire it up with that because I did do the fuel density compensator bypass, which puts it in gas mode all the time because it's a multi-fuel engine, and you put it in gas mode and that allows you to have a little bit more power when you do run it on diesel. I bet it's 25% more power than just normal, so you do have to be careful with the EGTs. I live up here on the mountain, and I can burn it down if I really wanted to, probably. So anyway, you have any more questions? Don't hesitate to ask. Comment down below, and please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.